Welcome to the 3rd annual Golden Crocoduck Award.
That's right, the most prestigious award in creationism is here again. It's time for the coveted Golden Crocoduck 2010. But before we get into that, we first have to award the Defiance in Ignorance prize called the Cock, named after the YouTuber who asked a question he was proudly confident couldn't possibly be answered. This year's winner is P.P. Simmons, for giving us questions evolutionists cannot answer. In this case, finding the answer required the extraordinary step of opening a science book. So in a separate video, I'm going to show P.P. Simmons the readily available answers to the questions he thinks no one can answer. Should be fun. I want to leave room in this year's video for the Golden Crocoduck winner, who deserves all the time he can get. So here, in reverse order, are this year's contenders and the number of votes they received.
Everyone is trying to get to the bar. Name of the bar. The bar is called Heaven. The band in heaven, they play my favorite song. Play it one more time. Play it all night long. Oh, heaven, heaven is a place where nothing ever happens.
Christ is the head of the church. He's the head of mankind. And a man is the head of his woman. His wife, rather, I should say. Evolution.
I believe.
Nothing
Anybody who wants to argue with me about the evidences I provide in my video gets instantly blocked and their posts removed.
Congratulations, Sporty! I must admit it was a bit daunting to put together an awards video on Nephilim Free. His videos are so full of the most inane claptrap, and there are just so many of them. The choice facing me was just too enormous. So I decided to start with this one, because whenever you see a video titled
Big Evolutionist Challenge,
you just know it's going to be good for a laugh. It starts with an extraordinary claim.
I'm about to show you a single piece of evidence that discredits evolution.
Wow.
Proves conclusively,
unequivocally,
unarguably, that evolution is false.
You must be very smart.
What you're about to see in this video is going to prove that evolution is false.
Okay, let's hear it.
Evolutionists believe that mountains rose over vast periods of time.
Okay, get on with it.
They believe the plates of the earth are moving ever so slowly.
Let's fast forward. In the build-up, Neff explains rather long-windedly that evolution couldn't have happened because the Earth is young, and Neff knows the Earth is young because mountains couldn't possibly have taken millions of years to form. And now he's going to show, finally, unequivocal and conclusive proof that mountains couldn't have taken millions of years to form. Here it is.
You see, if the mountains were rising over such incredibly slow rates as evolutionists believe, gravity would suck the water out of them as they rose, ever so slowly, and they would harden and dry.
What the... This is your conclusive, unequivocal, and unarguable proof? It took me a while to understand what the hell Nephilim Free is getting at by successfully proving that mud dries out. But try to follow this. He seems to believe that rocks can only fold into mountains if they're soft, like wet mud. So he thinks that by showing they couldn't remain soft and wet for very long, he's proved that mountains couldn't have formed over millions of years. I haven't got this wrong. This is a recurring theme in other Nephilim Free videos.
And this proves that the mountains rose during the flood rapidly because strata will not remain plastic for millions of years so that they can bend. The only way the strata could have been bent is because they were still plastic, still soft and moist when they were bent.
But of course, rocks don't have to be soft or moist in order to bend. Neff did discover this when he read an article about mountain building on a NASA website.
Folding bends many of the layers of rock without breaking them.
But he refused to accept it. Simple as that. His belief that rocks don't bend is the basis of his unarguable, indisputable proof. So we might legitimately ask what evidence, if any, this belief is based on.
What you just heard is the most cockamamie, poppycock, impossible thing. Lie, stupid thing.
Yes, we know you believe it's absurd, cockamamie, poppycock, impossible, a lie, and stupid, Sporty, but what's the evidence, the observation that supports your belief? Have you repeatedly tested rocks under pressure in a laboratory?
That's science. Observation, testing, and repeatability.
That's right, that's science. If Neff spent a bit more time checking his facts and less time blabbering in front of a video camera, he could easily have found the websites of rock deformation laboratories that routinely perform this supposedly impossible feat, bending rocks through pressure. When this rock is compressed at atmospheric pressure, it's brittle and cracks. But when it's constrained by high pressure on all sides, it becomes ductile. The science of rock mechanics is so well researched that there are papers explaining in mathematical detail exactly how different types of rock under different conditions bend elastically, then plastically, and even flow. Understanding the transition from brittle to ductile is not a matter of denial or belief. It's a matter of...
That's science. Observation, testing, and repeatability.
Yeah, that's it.
Gee, tell us more about what you do in science, Professor.
In science, we use something called inference, and strong inference. The island of Surtsey rose over a period of just a few years, and so we can make a strong inference based upon our observation of how islands rise, which is quickly, that all islands rose in similar fashion, very quickly.
I see. So we can observe in videos, for example, that some buildings in Africa get built quickly. Therefore, we can infer that all buildings in Africa get built quickly. But isn't this, what's the scientific word, stupid? Using this logic, Nephilim Free uses the example of tiny Surtsey to assert that the islands of Hawaii must have been similarly made in just a few years, even though the big island of Hawaii alone is 4,000 times bigger in area and millions of times bigger in volume. Okay, so Nephilim Free has no understanding of what observation and inference actually mean, and is completely ignorant of basic geology. That comes as no surprise to anyone. What did make me laugh is that he thinks scientists are so worried about his puerile speculations that they're trying to destroy his so-called evidence.
No, Sporty.
Yes, Sporty. Nephilim Free gives this example of a video animation he found on a NASA website.
I used that video in one of my videos to demonstrate that the Hawaiian Islands are not older because of, that their erosion of the northernmost Hawaiian Islands is not due to age, but to ocean current patterns. And some evolutionist emailed them, and guess what NASA has done? They've removed the video.
Neff, I still don't understand. Could you show us through some kind of play acting, a skit, if you will, how this conspiracy might unfold?
They get on the phone, hey Bob
here.
Get the admin for the website, tell him that animation for the Hawaiian Island ocean currents, through the months of June through
Hurry up, I'm a busy man.
Through
January?
of 2006, delete those.
Who is this?
That's what happens.
Did you spot how many things are wrong with this conspiracy theory? First of all, Sporty, an animation of ocean currents doesn't tell us much about rates of erosion, so your armchair speculation is based on no research whatsoever. Secondly, the age of the Hawaiian Islands has been ascertained by paleomagnetic and radiometric dating, not by erosion. Thirdly, the NASA animation was based on data that's freely available, and NASA gives its sources on the web page. Neff, no one's stopping you from reading the scientific paper or the University of Hawaii ocean current data that NASA cited. Instead of relying on animations, you can check the data yourself. Believe me, Sporty, no one feels threatened by your complete lack of knowledge and your clumsy fumbling of facts. In fact, you're doing such a good job of making creationists look stupid that a lot of people write to me asking if you're really an atheist. Some find you amusing, others find you irritating. I just find you sad, in a creepy sort of way. Don't get me wrong, I'm delighted to have you on the internet because the astonishing crap you dream up is such fun to debunk. But I do wish you'd get help. A lot of the conclusions you draw from Bible stories are just chilling. Like how God killed children who were taunting the prophet Elijah because of his bald head.
Now if God, merciful, loving, compassionate God, can send 2 female bears, probably brown bears, to come snarling out of the brush and slap to death a half a dozen boys for mocking his prophet. Do you not think God supports you when you are tough on these kind of people?
Why do I get the feeling I'm going to see your name in the papers one day?